Game number 1 here, Tomb of the Spider Queen. First pick going over here to Munchies. This means that maybe they can have a bit more control in the draft. But what are we expecting to see in bans here, Aviator?
I'd expect a Valera ban, of course. I think that's likely to come out from the side of Unleashed, if they've done their homework anyway. I mean, most of these players, if they're Div 1 Plus, then they would have probably encountered sub kill at some point in their Storm League games. So in theory, they would have encountered it and probably respect it now with the ban. Johanna obviously being removed, Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's what is probably her best map, I'd say, because the wave clear that she provides, as well as sort of interrupting rotations with that double blind. It's definitely the pick. But we're going to ban out the Hogger against Unleashed. No, against Munchies.
Yeah, so Hogger, I think, is another one of stab kills. No, maybe it's Griffiths, actually. Sorry, I get a bit lost with Munchies these days. But, you know, it just can be a bit of a bully in that bottom lane, can easily clear out, can do some of the camps by themselves. Really helps in that rotation when you want to sort of send people bot maybe to help out. You can send Hogger to do the mid camp. Lots of good stuff to go on.
Yeah, I mean, Hogger's just an all-round pretty darn good hero at present, and obviously will be for the foreseeable. We're going to get a Chromie ban coming out as well, so Valera is open. Obviously, Tomb of the Spider Queen is a map that Valera is not really going to excel at. Thinking about it logically, she doesn't provide any wave clear, she doesn't provide any siege push, she just provides interruptions on rotation, so sort of larger maps, definitely, but something like this, perhaps they're going to go for a bit more comfort. And we do see Stukov for Makaku. I think I recognize Makaku as a Stukov. I wouldn't want to say OTP, but enthusiast, shall we say.
Definitely a power pick here for Makaku. They play it very, very well. We've seen it in the Nexus Rumble beforehand. And, you know, I'm surprised to see the Chromie ban. It's something that is often done. I think it's the research they've done is obviously on the Heroes Lounge page, where Chromie has been banned 13 times against Munchies this season. But it's often Mila who is playing it. So, interesting.
Yeah, it's one of her better maps as well, on Tomb in particular, just because she's got those triple time traps as well. She can control the vision, interrupt, etc. Of course. But now Blaze Brightwing going up against Leo Valor. So obviously Blaze into Leo just wants to cry. Bunker's a counter into Tomb, but Leo is the counter to Blaze. So it's one of those matchups where Blaze just hates themselves in the bottom lane, but it should be fine. Should have a decent time, and especially in the late game then will come into fruition. But we've got Valor early pick coming in here as well.
Okay, yeah, Valor early pick here. Anubrak, the final ban here for the team of Unleashed. Now with that, you know, we're seeing the Unleashed go here for Anubrak. What other tanks are there available? Are we going to see a Garrosh here? Are we going to see something else to just try and shut down that Valor a little bit quicker?
Yeah, obviously the Maiev coming out as well. Maiev is one of those things where you can play like main tank Maiev on Tomb. It works pretty well because, again, you just want to control rotations. It's all about disrupting them, trying to control that top to mid kind of section really. Bot lane doesn't matter a huge amount. Obviously the siege giants are there, but overall bot lane is not usually where you win the game. It's usually top or through mid. But we're going to get Gul'dan coming in.
Yeah, on being played by Aggressive, and there is the Garrosh by Arabano. So that's really going to help with sort of walking through the Stuke of Silence with that Indomitable. But against the Leoric and the Valor is the potential to be killed later on in the game. You know, when you get to that post 16, if you're really focusing down that Garrosh with the percentage damage, just can get through that last little bit. Might be a scary time for Arabano if they don't run away with it early on in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. A sort of A Valor perhaps, or W, probably going to be AA, especially now since they've picked up the Zul and Rexar. So, I mean, you can either swap. You can either have 4-man Rexar or 4-man Zul here. 4-man Rexar on Tomb was used to be quite a power pick, really. Sort of like a hidden thing. You just sort of have Misha run around. You could int Misha occasionally as well, and it was perfectly fine. But last pick to respond. Obviously, Gul'dan has the wave clear, so they just need some extra damage to buff themselves up here.
Yeah, Asgore in the chat here saying Munchies grinded to the playoffs. Asgore, one of our Heroes Lounge mods in the Discord, of course. Yeah, they did grind it, but they had such tough opponents compared to some of the other teams, you know, where they got balanced against their MMR, so they really earned this place. Do not think that they just grinded. They earned it by playing against hard teams and getting the wins and draws that they needed. But here we go. Sylvanas picks up Aviator. You are one happy chappy.
We put 10k on the blue team to win.
Yeah, of course. Make sure you get your predictions in here. You'll have another approximately 5 minutes, I reckon. Maybe even longer. But yeah, get them in. 10k points over to the Sylvanas team.
Yeah, I have. Do you know what? Fun fact, this season, 0-5 on Sylvanas, by the way. Not touching that hero again this season. But obviously, still a big lover of Sylvanas. Post level 4, the wave clear you provide, you've got huge amounts of burst damage as well. You've got multiple build options. You can go AA, obviously, into this. Probably going to be more AA friendly, I'd imagine. Oh, wait, I've actually just realized is it Zul main tank without double support?
Or it's Rexar main tank. Misha main tank. I don't know, but it's triple bruiser, which I'm a huge advocate at the moment for anyone who just wants to sort of have some big old fun. But we'll see how these go as we go into game number 1.
Yeah, usually I would agree with you, but without the double support. Let's see how they do. As on the left-hand side in blue for Unleashed, we've got Aggressive playing Gul'dan. We've got Arabano playing Garrosh. We've got Brightwing played by Chibis, Blaze played by Risk, and Ice Corp on Sylvanas.
Yep, and on the red team, we have the Munchies with Stab Stab Kill on the Valor, with Glyphus on the Zul, Makaku on Stukov, Rexar being played by Venom, and Kodiak on that Leoric. And already we see a little bit of a deviation from the standard gameplay that we so often see on these maps.
Yeah, we're just going to have Rexar in the bottom. So it is going to be Zul main tank. Now, without double support, I'm a little bit concerned for them. We'll have to see how well that Stukov does, trying to heal him up. Because usually what Zul lacks is the HP to survive. I mean, whilst you do have that you do have that active usually for some HP, but we are going to get a flip already coming out here onto Leoric here. Going to get drained by Gul'dan, and that's going to be first blood going over to Unleashed.
Yeah, and, it's important that this kill already happens. It just shows that the tempo this game could have if the red team aren't careful. Arabano just being allowed to walk in there with the mount and already just getting pushed down so aggressively, but a nice silence on the return and means that they're putting pressure onto Arabano. Meanwhile, Leoric has to Wraith walk away. This is just that thing that they are so squishy on the side of the red team. They need to be careful stepping up into the blues.
Yeah, Garrosh going to constantly look, and there he goes again. Gets the flip, gets the throw onto... Gets the flip and the throw. One or the other, please. Gets the throw onto Griffiths, onto that Zul, but this time around, Zul able to survive. I think Stukov had that pop.
Yeah, so now a little bit of aggression coming out here from the Misha, but the Misha gets thrown away. And I really like that Risk has tried to come here for a gank, but Kodiak was there to stop them. Good work here. A little bit of a swapperoo now, as Leoric is going to be the one going up against Blaze in the bot lane.
Yeah, Leoric obviously does so much better into Blaze than any of the heroes here, but we are going to get the teleport from Brightwing coming down here. The polymorph comes out with Leoric as well. He will have Wraithwalk available, I believe, but he's going to take quite a bit of damage there.
Yeah, and so far, we've seen the aggression come out of the blue team, but the red team have been dealing with it pretty well. However, later on into the game, it might be a little bit tough knowing that, going up against this team, it's good in chaos, Triple Bruiser, but when it's so organized and the blue team are organized, I think they're going to be able to focus down these Bruiser targets quick enough to stop the sustain.
Yeah, Misha does very well into Garrosh, though. That's one good thing about the Misha here. But the polymorph's going to come through, and Soppel, Wraithwalk, and Kodiak will be just fine. But it's camp v camp in the middle lane. Looks like the red team's camp will get victorious. Subtle kill going in aggressively here onto Sylvanas. Puts out a huge amount of damage onto Iscorp. But the cleanse from Brightwing able to keep him alive.
Yeah, I think
obviously this is pre-level 7 as well, but where Brightwing does not have that cleanse heal just yet. That critical mist.
Yeah, and it looked like it may have been wasted, but Sylvanas was just slowed enough that was able... That cleanse probably did save her from that one auto attack that Vala could have had to confirm the kill. Good stuff here from Chibis already. But now we see Risk coming in with a potential flag, and this is what Blaze likes to do on this map. Try and find something, try and put the oil down, does not manage it. But a good stun here from Venom means that Risk is now at risk. Of course, he's able to pop the armor, get that thing. But a good silence comes out here from Makaku as well. Chibis had to pop the heal. So much used here to save Risk, but a throw comes out onto Kodiak. He's going to fall lower. It is Leoric, and it's Misha that goes down. Iscorp goes in with Sylvanas. That's got to be an error. A cleanse comes out once again from Chibis, and they get away with 122 HP once again. Chibis with the soothing mist here.
Yeah, Chibi's definitely utilizing his level 4. That magic spit here, as we do see a stun coming out onto Rexar. The polymorph's going to come through the slow again from Blaze. Arabana desperately wants to go in, can't get the throw, but the Gul'dan damage is enough. And Rexar goes down. It's 2 kills to nothing in favor of Unleash, but I don't think that should show. You know, so far the blue team, they've gotten away with a slither of HP every time so far.
Yeah, and remember, this is Div 1 plus versus Div 3 here. And, you know, it sounds like a lot, but Munchies are just performing so well in the Nexus Rumble. And I'm really glad to see them doing fine here in the early stages of game number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Experience-wise, though, you know, Munchies, they're keeping even at the moment. It's dead even in XP. They were able to soak top lane and deny quite a lot of that. We're going to have Misha coming up, though. Misses the interrupt onto Gul'dan, but Gul'dan may be caught out here. Griffiths going in for the point-and-click CC. We've got Brighton with the teleport coming through here. The stun, but there's going to be into the fray, saving Arabana. Chibizo mistimes the cleanse, and he's going to, or they're going to fall. And that's going to be the first kill on the board for the Munchies.
Yeah, really good from them, but a bit of aggression here in the bot lane means that Kodiak was a little bit in danger. Now won't be able to defend this push with a camp and the black arrows of Sylvanas. Yeah, notably we have the... Ooh, sorry.
Sylvanas doing exactly what she wants to do. Takes the siege camp and then just wants to kind of go off and split push where possible. Disabling the towers and getting as much value as possible. And, you know, they get 1 tower so far in the bottom lane. They're setting up to try and pay as well. You've got Sylvanas trying to pay the 3 gems needed. And there we go. It's going to be the blue web weavers coming in first.
Yeah, and already, you know, Kodiak just came back from the Hall of Storms, but they get thrown, they get tossed, they get stunned by Blaze. They're in danger, but the silence comes out as well. Blaze is looking to get that kill on Leoric, and they do get it. They are just pushing now in this bot lane. Misha trying their best to zone away as the rest of the red team retreat. Blue team here is a 5-man push. They're going to be looking to claim this fort, and it's almost definitely going to go down, Aviator.
Yeah, I mean the Siege Giants are still alive as well, and this is the thing, we've only got Valor for the range clear, as it were. You know, otherwise you've just got Zul Qs. So Leoric's trying to step up, trying to get as much clear as possible. But this fort is a goner, as they say. Zul trying to clear out top lane, but is going to be harassed now by Risk on the Blaze, and now we're going to have Unleash is setting up to try and push. Oh no, they are going to go top instead. They really want to try and get this kill onto Griffiths. Maybe Arabano's looking, can't get the flip though. It looks like Griffiths will be fine.
I mean, we've seen this aggression come out from Arabano almost every time. They're walking right up to this gates, using the armor that Garrosh has to be able to say, look, I'm sturdy enough to get right up and personal and try and find those quick flips just behind the gates. But now it is part of the defense. Red team are going to take down this final web weaver, and blue team are going to think, how can we defend these points? What can we do to make space so that we can get enough gems for our second turn-in?
All in all, though, considering it was a 5-man push, or pretty much in the bottom lane, only losing 1 fort with this composition, got to be pretty okay with that at the moment. And you know, you're still even in experience, and that's the important part. Is as long as you don't snowball the early game. You know, quite often you see it on Tomb of the Spider Queen, when one team gets a pay-in, gets a couple of kills, and starts really running away with it. They get a pay-in then with 10v9. And that's really where sort of hell starts to begin for the opposing team. But this time, they're holding on, they're still in, and level 10s are in for both sides now.
Yeah, but we have Decimate, no Taunt here, but it's a big swailing arrow. The Horrify comes out, only connects with Rexar, not quite what they wanted. Red team doing a fantastic job splitting up there. Now we have the Spectral Mages coming down, trying to slow them down. A stun onto Blaze, as comes the Roots. Bunker's not going to be able to be dropped if they wanted to, but no. A throw onto Misha means that is the only kill here for the blue team.
Yeah, but the blue team aren't done yet. They go back in, they get the kill onto Leoric with that Blaze stun setup. Iskop being aggressive here as well. Definitely trying to go in there, but that's a really nice pickup for them.
Yeah, and they're looking at this top one as well. Arabano now tanking, has the Brightwing, goes in there, going to try and get the polymorph for the slow. They managed to get it, but the Roots are putting the pressure onto Brightwing instead. Griffith's falling lower and lower. Out comes a really good flailing swipe, but Makako's unable to save the Zul this time. This is such good aggression, such great timing with the minions and the black arrows. They know they can dive these forts, and they did it successfully.
Yeah, and this is what I mentioned about, this is the scary moments now. You're going to have a second pain coming in soon for Unleash. They'll be hitting level 13, not too far away, but it doesn't look like they'll be able to get it for this pay-in. So, you know, there's going to be a small window, pre-13, for the Munchies to try and fight back.
Arabano playing so aggressively on Garrosh, even when there's no team behind him. And he can do that, and they are fine to do that now. But once they get to that level 16, I think that's where Arabano is going to find themselves in a little bit of danger. And that bit of damage that the red team need is going to come out. But firstly, Kodiak gets tossed around. Out comes a Horrify, pushing Zul and Leoric into danger. Leoric is falling lower and lower, trying to suck the soul out of the Garrosh, but is not able to. Risk putting pressure on the Venom. The Flaming Swipe has come out. They lost only Leoric there, which for me is an absolute win. And with the red wave waivers here, maybe they can find themselves a little bit of structure and a little bit of stability to catch up in that XP.
Yeah, they definitely need to try and get some structures, but it's going to be a little bit difficult in that 4v4. But, you know, they get the core type, they get the silence, they get the root as well, and Garrosh should fall here. Brightwing desperately trying to heal him up, but Brightwing goes down as well, saving the Garrosh. And that's exactly what Munchies needed here. And now they've got Sylvanas, they've got the Black Arrows, and Sylvanas should be able to set up. No, wait, sorry, I'm on the wrong team.
Valor does look a little bit like Sylvanas with this skin, to be fair. They've got level 13 though now, and you know, this is going to give them a bit of survivability on some of their heroes. Ultimately, there's going to be the Gloom for Valor. Really helps against the Sylvanas and the Gul'dan. Ultimately, on the other side, we've got Wraith build coming out here, of course. The E build from Leoric.
Yeah, but Misha's going to go down. So Risk desperately trying to do as much as possible for the red team. They might dive this here, and Leoric desperately wants to come in, gets the Entomb. Going to force the bunker here. That is going to cancel Brightwing's teleport. It's going to go on a short cooldown here, but the swipe's going to come out from Makaku. Desperately trying to peel out with the blue team, and they're chasing them down instead. Raid Avengers comes through, connects onto Garrosh. There's going to be the Unstoppable. Gets the Decimate off as well, trying to get some slow, trying to get set up here. Brightwing's going to come through as well, and they're going to get another kill onto Leoric as the Polymorph comes through, and Leoric goes down.
Ultimately, a sacrificial lamb and then a sacrificial bear as a sad Misha lays on the floor here. The blue team knowing full well that a Leoric kill was probably the bare minimum in that fight. But red team not able to get their turn in. I think it was a bit of a race there, and blue team are the ones to get this second turn in. Now, what can they do with this? It's going to be looking at this mid fort almost guaranteed, but are they going to try and push onto some sort of keep here with this? Or is it just about gaining space, Aviator?
Yeah, it's a bit tricky. The red team, they're going to try and fight, though. This is a bit dangerous for them here. Kodiak, though, misses the Entomb. Because obviously, when you're trying to force a fight, when the enemy web weavers are down, if you lose that fight, you know, you're desperately going to be on the back foot then afterwards here. But the big setup from Blaze here, gets the slow, gets the stun as well, silence on the ground, but there's going to be the throw onto Makaku, onto that Sukov. He's going to get feared in as the swipes come through as well, but it's not going to be enough. The Rain Avengers comes out as well now, onto Brightwing. Makaku, though, is going to go down. No, the pop from Stukov, keeping him alive. Blaze desperately trying to look, wants to hit that crossfire on Makaku, does connect it, but Makaku's able to live, and now they're turning it around onto the blue team. Here's Arabano and Risk. They're falling extremely low, but Brightwing with the teleport, keeping Garrosh alive.
That was incredible by Makaku. Such a close shave. Stab kill as well, by the way. Vaulting out of the way of Blaze, and if Blaze had connected that stun, Makaku would have been dead, as Brightwing does say. But already, though, that tussle, which lowers the health bars, means that red team just couldn't quite defend everywhere, and so this pressure on this bottom keep, on this top keep, on this mid keep, it's all getting opened up, and although they're not going to get a keep this time, it's danger for the next turn-in that Unleashed will have. And it's not too far away, Aviator.
No, Mrs. Where Gul'dan, you know, Gul'dan gets a big power spike now with that Runus Affliction. Completed the level 1 quest as well. So it's a big boost in damage, in siege, in everything pretty much for the Gul'dan as well. And there's a small window where the blue team will have that level 16 advantage. But the red team, you know, playing it sensibly, they're going to try and get the pay in. The blue team might just try and force a boss with that small window. And that's exactly what they're going to do.
And it's exactly what they should do. You know, there's no way that red team are going to contest this. Red team will know they're doing it. It's one of the top things that lower division teams do. They know the boss is happening and they think, right, we've got to contest the boss. But fortunately, these higher level teams, these more experienced teams know that something's going on. Let's do something else. Get some other pressure. And this boss for Webweaver turn-in, it's not pretty, but at least the red team will get some breathing room out of it. And they can put some pressure ultimately on the mid and bot lanes, perhaps with Leoric.
Yeah, and they've still got, you know, 38 gems. They've still got about 44 gems, 46, 47 gems at the moment for them. So they're close to a pay-in as well, you know. So they're able to defend the boss for free. They'll have a chance at an even talent tier fight as well, pre-level 20. So it's still all to play for the Munchies. And, you know, they've already taken 2 forts as well. It's only that top lane where they're not even in structures.
Yeah, and we've picked up the level 16, and that is the big talent here for Valor, the Manticore. We saw Blaze fall down to desperately low HP in the last fight, and we've seen Garrosh time and time again. Stab Kill will now be putting out that additional tiny bit of damage, which is going to help them. and they've not died at all, so they've still got full stacks of their Gambit talent from level 1 Aviator.
Yeah, Arabana, though, is looking, constantly just rotating around out of vision at the moment, just trying to pressure and find a member of the Munchies. And Munchies, you know, this is their time to fight as well.
Yeah, and they need to think about it. There's 58 gems here for the blue team, and red team actually have enough. They've been the one with the most gems here. Griffiths goes forward, pops the root on there, but Arabano is zoned out by it. Kodiak looking to go forward. There is a bit of a slow here on Arabano. The ball comes out, hits Risk. Risk is still looking to get the interrupt. Red team positioning as if they want to get the turn in, but also at the same time wanting a fight. It's a little bit of greed perhaps, but on the other side, blue team, they're well versed in this, and they've just been getting this bruiser camp in the meantime.
Yeah, and now we're going to see the 5v5 fight, and this is a good fight for the blue team to take here. They get rid of Misha as well, and now they're going to be looking for more here. Garrosh gets the throw, Blaze gets the swallow up, someone's going to be a wailing arrow into the backline, and Vala eats a full, triple stack of cooldown damage here, but Makaku desperately trying to keep him alive, gets the pop as well, but the polymorph's going to come through onto Griffiths, onto that Zul, and Zul is going to fall, and it looks like Kodak's going to be chased down as well. Iscorp's there on the Sylvanas, has got that double E, that Windrunner build, and that's 2 members down for the Munchies.
And look at the ping.
Which means
It's
a keep.
It is a keep, Aviator. Sylvanas just means when there's a kill, there's a keep, and this keep is going to go down. Gul'dan is able to put out so much damage onto structures with the Ruinous Affliction as well, and this is just where they are looking to try and claim some extra ground. 20 seconds still yet on the Leoric, and they're pushing hard. It's a keep, but nothing more. They can get a turn in after this, but I don't think that's going to be threading the core just yet. Red team still have some life left in them yet, Aviator.
Yeah, it's still all, you know, there's a win condition for the blue team now. But, you know, if red team, they get a wipe, they could potentially end through bottom as well, break the sidewall and just go through the keep and go to the core. The death timers are long enough now, perhaps, that it will be doable. But the problem is that level 20 is looming for Unleashed.
It is. And you know what, with this, they have to be careful about this top keep as well. That's getting pushed out. Boss, although it was recently taken, 2 minutes left on that. That's going to be about perfect timing after this turn-in. And the red team will be thinking, can we get level 20 in time for that? Or are the blue team just going to walk away with this checkmate scenario?
Yeah, Vala now, there's going to be the balls coming through. They're trying to force this pre-20. The Rain Ranger's going to come out. Cleanse has already been used from Brightwing. But the blue team, they're just able to retreat. And the red team, they just can't seem to do anything into this. Now, they don't want to fight into the Web Weavers, but this means that the blue team are going to be able to set up, have level 20, and push down potentially for the victory.
Yeah, fortunately though, Zul and Leoric, both pretty good wave clearers here, so they should be able to do things once the web weavers are pushed up, as long as it's not being pressured with the heroes along with it. Blue team, they know this, and that's why they've gone for mid keep. You know, opening up the map in the middle, and they can easily go rotate top afterwards once the pressure on the bot lane is just too much. But a good throw here onto Griffiths means that they're in danger. But a really nice entomb with a silence underneath, and the damage is just coming out on top. Ship is able to blink heal in there, keep people alive, but ultimately the blue team are bruised, Aviator.
Yeah, they are a little bit low, but Brightwing should be able to heal them up here. But the question is, I don't think they are going to look for the core here. The stun's going to come out, but only onto Misha. There's a big blaze stun, though, onto 4 members here. The decimate's coming through as well, but now Arabano taking a huge amount of damage from Valak here. That Manticore doing work, but now it's the red team's turn to fall extremely low. Blaze gets the stun again onto Leo. The crossfire comes through, but Leo able to hit that drain and stay alive, but he wants to go back in, reducing their damage here. But they are able to defend their core.
Yeah, I mean, all keeps have gone down, but ultimately that Entomb with Silence combo made it so many resources have to be used for the blue team that they just couldn't find the kills they wanted in that second wind of the fight. And Vala was pumping out the damage. We can look at the damage charts now. She's only on 30k hero damage because these fights have been short, but my, were they in danger. And the red team know this. They've managed to pick up level 20 just in time, and they're going to be thinking, right, the boss is the area, and we can fight on boss.
Yeah, Vala going for Pathlight Quiver, obviously having that extra attack range now. So, interestingly, you can outrange a keep pretty much with Vala with this level 20 as well. So just to show you the range, the Horrify's going to come through. It is going to connect onto Zul, and Zul is just one shot. And now they get the throw onto Rexar as well. Arabano getting that Decimate 20, and obviously it does reduce the damage as well. Blaze misses the stun, actually goes through the middle here, but it doesn't matter as Rexar still goes down, and they're just chasing them down now. Makaku looks like he's going to fall next. Iscorp goes in, gets the kill, but meanwhile, blue team are falling a little bit low as well. Subs kill, able to put out a lot of damage, but there's that Ruinous Affliction. The slow from Blaze as well. The crossfire to finish off Leoric, and surely now this isn't clownable.
I really thought Stab Kill was going to go for like a quintuple kill there after just getting one after the other. But no, the Blaze Bunker was able to prevent that. Really good stuff here from Risk and the rest of Unleashed. But Munchies showing they have life in them. But Unleashed are just not to be outclassed today as they take game number 1 here in the Nexus Rumble Grand Final.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Munchies, as you said, they did show signs of life. They were even in experience pretty much most of the game. It was a lot closer than one would expect for a Div 1 Plus against a Div 3 team. So the Div 3 team definitely showcasing some ability.
Yeah, and you know, I'm absolutely so happy to see that here. You know, especially in the Nexus Rumble, it is so great to see these teams step up and step forward. We're going to be awarding those points pronto, don't you worry. But now, if you're Munchies, you know, maybe you had a triple bruiser comp prepped for Tomb of the Spider Queen.
But I don't like it. I still think you need a tank. I mean, playing Zul main tank as it were with their setup without double support just doesn't really work. You really need double support to enable Zul, or something like a Medivh, you know, something like that really to help enable the Zul, because you've got no engage, you know, and you saw that when they were trying to force a fight. Leoric was having to try and force in Tomb. If he misses, the blue team just walk away perfectly fine. Blaze drops an oil, runs away. So yeah, they need something a bit different if they're going to play the Zul double support composition.
Yeah, and we'll see if they think of something different on a map of their choice, or if they want to have first pick once again. Now, I know Munchies, they're very, very experienced. I'm expecting them to go for first pick rather than go for a map pick. Unfortunately, my Discord currently doesn't show my mouse, so Aviator, you might need to help me out.
Yeah, no problem at all. So it is Munchies picking up first pick, of course, as you mentioned. So map pick will go over to Unleashed. Now, bans, as you can see next to Transparent's lovely face, we did have Infernal Shrines, Garden of Terror, Dragonshire, and Cursed Hollow being banned out. So map like BOE perhaps could be picked up.
Yeah, it could be. I'll show it on the big screen now for everybody as well. Yeah, we've still got Battlefield of Eternity, Alterac Pass, Sky Temple, Towers of Doom, and Volskaya Foundry in the mix here. I mean, I don't think it's going to be Volskaya today. I think Volskaya is definitely much more of a lower rumble pick, but I could see Battlefield Eternity, certainly, as you say.
So, for example, double support Zul originally started on Volskaya Foundry. That was the map that made it happen from an NA HCC team, I think it was. And then Monkey Menagerie or Tricked Esports, they then copied it and really enjoyed that kind of comp as well. And it works on Volskaya with double support.
Yeah, but we're not going to Volskaya Aviator. We are going to the Towers of Doom here. What can we expect on Towers of Doom out of these two teams? It is once again picked up, of course, by Unleashed. They're the ones that picked it. It's going to be first pick for Munchies, and I think this is more where we're going to see a little bit more of the rotational compositions here from Munchies. Something with a bit more threat to the offlane rather than just picking, well, 3 offlaners themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Gul'dan really worked on Tomb as well. I think it's a forgotten pick, as it were. It's one of those picks that doesn't always come out anymore, but when it does, it always seems to do quite a bit of work. You know, the wave clear provides the damage as well. As you could see, it was top damage by the end. And yeah, but on towers, you probably won't see it. So we're in for something different, at least.
Yeah, and we've seen aggressive picks come out from Unleashed in the past as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Genji potentially from either team, if I'm honest. I believe Stab Kill also plays the Genji.
Yeah, Genji's nice on towers. Obviously, if you pair it with a sort of wave clear DPS as well, then Genji can go and harass. Or if you've got wave clear on your tank or good setup, etc., then you can even play the Shimada brothers. They come into fruition as well on this map. So yeah, have to see what they want to go for here.
Now, just mind me, as I open up my window, I realise I was starting to bake. As I've closed my window, I've got my green screen behind me, so I make a nice little cube of hot air as my PC pumps out streams. But here we are. Yep, looks like the teams are getting in here. I believe everybody's getting ready here.
Yeah, just waiting for Team 2, which is, of course, Munchies to be ready. And then we'll head into the draft of game number 2. Now, this is a map where Valeera could come out. Because you want to disrupt. It's a little bit larger map. You can play it, go and harass the offlaner as well. There's lots of different strategies. Obviously, bot lane is always going to be the priority, but playing around top on this map is always worthwhile as well. You know, getting a kill onto the solo laner, pushing out waves, denying experience, all that kind of stuff to try and
Yeah, I think we may see some of the tricks that Munchies used in map number 1 sort of be used here again. You know, they really did try and make sure those minions were soaked, trying to push out a little bit. I think that should be a good thing for Munchies here. But obviously, Unleashed, they have that aggression. We saw the aggression so well with the Garrosh. How are we going to be dealing with that if you're Munchies?
You just ban it, perhaps, if you think it's a problem. Yeah, I think if you don't have any sort of answer to it, then banning it for sure. I mean, they only had Vala to deal with it. Obviously, they picked Triple Bruiser into it as well. Misha does okay into the Garrosh, but again, I just think without double support, they lose every single team fight. You know, if I think if they're going to play Triple Bruiser, then play a tank plus double. If they're going to play triple melee, then maybe play tank plus double Bruiser. And then it would work, perhaps, because you've got your tank with an engage, you know, to set up as well. Otherwise, then, yeah, play double support with Zul main tank instead.
Yeah.
And ban the Garrosh, I guess.
Obviously, Brightwing was played very well by Chibiz on the side of Unleashed. Brightwing being a global hero could be another thought to ban here. There's just so many things, but I don't think we'll see perhaps the focus on Johanna this time. Would you agree?
I mean, it's still a good map for her. Quite often it goes quite late, so there's chances of that happening. You know, Bless is a nice engage as well, post level 10, pre-level 10. Johanna does feel a bit rough.
Yeah.
But after level 10, you've got that ranged engage and you're perfectly fine. So I think it's definitely a viable pickup here. She controls bushes. She's survivable as well, you know, gets that Iron Skin, can walk out to safety, but into a Garrosh, obviously, it's not the best matchup.
Yeah, we'll see what's happening here. We've just got a little bit of a break here, but if you're cheering on one of these teams, we want to hear about it. If you're new maybe to the channel, we want to hear about it as well. We want to hear from everybody here. We're the grand final of the Nexus Rumble. It's been going on for a little while. We've got plenty of things coming up in Heroes Lounge at the moment. It's a great time to get involved as well. There is an off-season tournament happening, but it looks like we're about to get into game number 1.
2.
So yeah,
game number 2 here on Towers. So a different map to Tomb, obviously. Different strategies come into it. You want to camp the bottom lane. You want to harass the offlaner. But mainly, you really want to just collect all the altars. And this is the only map where the obviously the tower changes don't affect it either.
Yeah, of course, yeah. There's no way to sort of quickly snipe some sort of keep to go and try and end the game here with Sylvanas, but she still is very much powerful. Would you not agree?
Sylvanas? Yeah, of course. I mean, there's no better hero. But we are going to get the Hanzo ban again, so consistent with the Hanzo ban against Unleashed. Is it a comfortable pick for them?
I believe it is. Urbano plays a lot of it, and I think Aggressive does as well. So it's sort of just one of those picks that's really hard to get a grasp in. Would you say that Sylvanas is a 10, but she burnt down the world tree? Aviator.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. She's still a 10 to you.
So Hogger ban again. So same bans coming through. So last time around though, the red team banned out Johanna because they weren't first pick on Tomb of the Spider Queen, but they were first pick actually. They still banned it. Interesting. So are they going to ban it again, or are they going to ban out the Garrosh and pick it up themselves? But they're going to ban the Stukov, so they're not going for Stukov first pick this time around.
Yeah, this is fairly interesting here to see from these guys. Yeah, of course, we will have prediction points coming up here. So if you think that some of these bans are pretty damn good, or you think that the Munchies are just going to clinch this one in the draft, we'll be having those points coming up here very, very shortly. And there's a Valeera ban. As we sort of had thought about, it might happen on this map. It's come here. And yeah, not to be surprised, that is a stab kill special if you are just tuning in with us. One of the players is very much a Valeera main.
Yeah, so they're going to pick up Johanna first pick here, which does leave the global Dahaka open. So you give Dahaka, but you could also pick up the Blaze yourselves here. So, Johanna Blaze frontline with 1 DPS maybe. Last pick then support in DPS could be quite nice for Munchies.
Yeah, but what is this second pick going to be? Is it going to be the Brightwing that Chibi's played so well? It's going to be a Lucio. Even more annoying.
Also, you could always flex Johanna offlane as well. That is still a thing. That Johanna has enough wave clear that you can flex her offlane and then pick up something like a Diablo, ban out the Garrosh then next rotation as well. Could be quite nice.
I mean, we don't actually know the main tank player of Munchies in this setup because they were all on Bruiser last game. So
that's very much true.
It could be any of them. But we see the Anduin come in here, and we're going to see the Sylvanas picked up already by Munchies. There goes Aviator's points.
We'll hold them for now.
Well, we'll see.
I don't believe in... I'm not a huge lover of the Light Bomb Falling Sword kind of combo. I think it was really good when it came out, when people were sort of playing around, discovering it, but it kind of, to me, it just feels like it falls off. And every time I see a Johanna with Falling Sword, I'm like, well, Bless would have gotten more value, perhaps. So I don't know. We'll have to see how they want to play it. Perhaps it's not going to be the Light Bomb Falling Sword setup.
I think this is one of the sort of interesting parts of the Lucio versus Johanna makeup. Lucio
There's the Garrosh ban though.
Lucio can have the high five to try and cleanse some of these bigger combos, but if they go for the sound barrier, sometimes that can get interrupted by the Blessed Shield if you go for that on the Johanna. So I'm really interested to see what Chippers is going to pick up.
Do you know what I'd love to see here though? The blue team hold their last DPS pick and potentially pick Hammer if there's no counter.
Sergeant Hammer on the blue team, you're saying?
Yeah, I think you pick tank, and 1 DPS, and then what you do is you last pick a Hammer, for example. If there's no other DPS that would quote unquote counter Hammer, I think Hammer would be a really good setup for them.
Well, unfortunately, they've gone for the Li Ming on here on stab kill. No Hammer this time, but we do have the Leoric, so I do like that. Good double soaker, can do well into Dahaka, putting a bit of pressure on both lanes rather than just the one, which Dahaka sort of struggles with a little bit. Ghostly Treeman has said favourite setup is Junkrat, Garrosh, Taunt. That's a lot of displacement and definitely can be deadly, but as the Garrosh got banned out, we see instead Arabano picking up his other favourite tank of Muradin. And that's going to be putting on a lot of aggressive pressure with the Lunara, and there it is, the Genji.
Yeah, I mean, so they lack a little bit of wave clear. Obviously, Ice Corp's going to have to do it all on the Lunara, but you know what? The Genji pickup here is so nice.
It's really
and
nice.
Actually, I'm surprised they didn't pick it themselves on the other side. Once you see that Lunara, I guess into Lucio, it's a bit annoying playing Genji. Obviously, your deflect is really not. You can never really press Sorry, no, it's annoying for Lucio to play into Genji. So Genji would have been a really nice pickup instead of the Li Ming, perhaps.
Maybe. Oh. However, maybe they just didn't quite feel comfortable. I don't know. It's hard to say. Make sure you get your points in now. Of course, I think it is interesting. You say that all the wave clear is on that Lunara because they don't have a sort of a wave clear tank. They don't have a wave clear support. It is very much a rotational thing, putting the pressure on that Genji, getting some kills maybe on the Leoric, forcing everyone away on the side of the red team, really disrupting that. Do you think they're going to be able to do that? Unleashed, of course, being the more experienced team.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, also what you could do with the red team instead is just really try and play bot hard. Accept that Leoric is going to die a couple of times in the off lane. Just let him be. He spawns quicker than anyone else. Obviously, the first altar phase will tell all as well and how they want to play it. But, we'll have to see how the game goes and how these two teams want to play.
Yep, and let's see as we go into now game number 2 here of the Nexus Rumble on Towers of Doom. And here on the blue team, on the right-hand side, we do have the current leaders. It is Unleashed, the Arabano on that Muradin, Iscorp on the Lunara. We have Aggressive on Genji and Chibiz here on the Lucio, and of course Risk on Dahaka. Sorry, I seem to be having some frame troubles with HOTS.
And on the right-hand side for the Munchies, we've got Anduin, played by Makaku, Stab Kill on the Li Ming, Griffiths on the Sylvanas, Venom on the Yorick, and Kodiak playing Johanna. So talent-wise, straight away level 1, nothing really interesting. Third wind being picked up by Muradin, so wants to take quite a bit of poke and then jump out. Genji going for the typical agile dismount, so the DQD build, as it were. That's probably what's going to be happening.
Yeah, and here we already see a lot of poke and a little bit of aggression here from Aggressive onto Kodiak. This is what's going to be happening. A little bit of a lockdown and then a collapse from all of the DPS onto just one target. Already disrupting this, but Aggressive trying to find the Sylvanas, but Griffiths dodging out well here. Good stuff already from both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. So Leoric able to push out the top wave, and now we'll go resort to resume to double soaking. But Kodiak's going to take a bit of pressure in the mid lane. They're forced to pop the Iron Skin before that Meridian stun connects.
Right, and a bit of a rotation here from these teams now. We see blue team already scouting this out. Not going for their own one. They're saying, look, if we can't get our own, we'll go for someone else's. And they do have the Dahaka to be able to burrow in, really put the pressure on here. 4 versus 5, but in fact it's 3 versus 4 right now.
Oh, Griffiths.
Griffiths a little bit in danger.
Yeah, Lunara, I think, saw that Griffiths went into that bush and did ping it for the team, but the team couldn't react in time, and Sylvanas able to get out, but jump in from Muradin there, just trying to make sure that these sappers go in. So that's going to be 1 tower down already for the blue team.
Yeah, and you know, this is exactly what they have to do. You know, if you can't take your own camp, take the others. And Dahaka Genji just really allows for that very much collapsing aggression that you can do across the map on this map of Towers of Doom. But red team, they're aware of this, and now that Dahaka's already used it, they've rotated Leoric down, who's had the superior wave clear, had the time to clear the top, and now they're in the 4 versus 5, but Arabana's having another minute. Standing on that point, Aggressive comes in, has to put the pressure onto Makaku. Makaku falling lower and lower, but the red team, they are healthy enough for now. The poison is there, though. They're able to push people away, but Aggressive does go down. First blood goes over to the Division 3 team, Munchies.
Yeah, Sylvanas getting that dagger damage out and does connect. Makaku actually stepping up on the Anduin onto that point is a little bit risky, but it paid off for them in the end. Sort of bait out the damage, procced his heal as well, and yeah, kept himself alive there. And they still the camp. It was a nice invade, 5v4 in their favour.
You know that fact that Anduin has a tiny bit of heal every time they do damage, every time they auto attack onto someone. Does all add up, and it does help out a great deal. So now blue team, though, they are standing stalwart here on the bot lane, and they know that if they can just delay until Dahaka can come down, they can most likely get this point. But the damage has already come out here from Griffiths, and they're looking to put the pressure onto these. Arabano trying to make sure that Kodiak's in danger, and Aggressive puts that fear right back into them. With no main tank right now, it's going to be hard, but they do get the interrupt. Griffiths falling so low from this damage from Mizcorp.
Yeah, meanwhile, topside, you got Dahaka actually harassing the Leoric here, as Leoric's falling a little bit low, and Dahaka may look for the solo bolo here, but Venom trying to heal himself up, and now Griffiths is coming top as well. So the red team, they're going to be playing for their own altar in the top lane, and they might actually go for a kill onto Risk, but Risk does connect the kill onto Li Ming here. Li Ming able to blink out, but Risk is able to get out as well. That level 1 talent, enhanced agility, helping him dodge out on that orb. Otherwise, I think Risk was going to go down.
Yeah, and this is the thing. So people might be wondering, how on earth did Dahaka land that tongue on such a small, squishy target? They must be an amazing godlike player, and I'm sure Risk is an incredible player, but do remember they have this level 4 Lurker Strain. That it means that when erupting from the burrow, they're able to knock back enemies and slow them by 30% for 3 seconds. Really helps on landing those tongues after you come out of burrow. Great talent.
I really like this adjustment from Sylvanas as well. Picking up possession at level 4. Look at the wave clear on the blue team, as we mentioned earlier on. Possession's actually going to do work in any lane that Sylvanas wants to take it. The only person that can really wave clear, Dahaka or Lunara as the poison scales. But it's deja vu as we see the red team trying to hit the camp, but Muradin's going to try and come over. Dahaka's actually burrowing in as well. There's going to be a stun connecting. The Iron Skin falls down to Johanna. The pull, I think, is available, and there it is going to come out. So that's a wasted burrow, really, from Dahaka. They don't get the kill. And I think pull and burrow are going to be roughly on a similar cooldown as well.
Yeah, and very much so. Pull is a 70-second cooldown, and it is looking like Kodiak might be in need of a second one, but it's not available. The damage comes in. The heal is there last minute for Kodiak. Superb stuff here by Makaku, keeping people alive. But great stuff all round by the red team, making sure they had that rotation. It was a 5v5 fight, and they were able to get a huge chunk of damage onto Chibis here from stab kill.
Yeah. Chibis not really paying attention there, took the orb to the face randomly as he stepped in the wave. That's one of those moments you just think, oops, yep, there's a Li Ming on the enemy team. Goes to tap, and now we're going to have the blue team start their own camp as well. They're about half-level lead ahead now in favor of the blue team. But we obviously, the red team try and force the invade again here, as Dahaka doesn't have that burrow, but Leroy and Dahaka coming down, but it doesn't really matter now. We're going to see the stun coming through. Iron Skin being popped by Johanna as Griffiths goes in, trying to put some damage out onto the Genji, but not able to do enough. And the blue team will survive and take their own camp as well.
Yeah, Genji's got the level 7 talent, the Augmented Guard, which means that when Sylvanas pops that Q and it goes onto the reflective Genji...
But Kodiak calls out here, doesn't have the Iron Skin available just yet. Gonna get healed by Anduin. It looks like the altars are going to be traded as well, but nice, quick attempts. You know, that's what they're doing. They're having Modin jump in, Genji instantly with a follow-up here, and unless Kodiak's got his Iron Skin and able to press it in time, he is going to go down. And this is what we said. Arabano goes in, gets the stun onto stab kill here, but the pull's going to come out, but Genji's going to go in, gets the harassment, and gets the kill. Actually, it was the choking pollen, I think, that took out Leeming.
Yeah, Iskop doing fantastic on the Lunara. And this is the thing, Lunara can do a lot of work and is given so much space in this composition because the Modin's in your face, because the Genji's in your face. Lunara so rarely threatened, and honestly is just able to get out so much damage. We have level 10s in here now. We have the Dragon Blade coming out and then going in aggressive, trying desperately to maybe try and find something, but I think it's a little bit presumptuous right now. Aviator.
I think they need the Blessed Shield as well. I know we talked about it, but I think the Blessed Shield is coming up. That's a huge double stun from Modin there, and then nice quick kill onto Sylvanas. So the red team not really respecting. Obviously, Modin's got that Pierce automatically now on his Stormbolt.
Yeah, and this is going to help out a lot with taking these aggressions where everyone's sort of clumped up, and they have been clumped up on the red team. This is why Lunara's been able to do so much work, and they have gone for that Thornwood Vine. We do have high 5 from aggressive as well. From Chibbers on the Lucio. So we should be seeing that. But yeah, Wailing Arrow and, of course, the Blessed Shield. So no Falling Sword.
No, and the interesting thing, Genji picking Dragon Strike that early, I mean, into, you know it's probably going to be Blessed Shield. You know it's going to be Wailing Arrow. You know, Wailing Arrow just shuts down Dragon Strike instantly. It's a trade, but it's a trade well worth it if Genji can't ult. So I'm surprised that we see this and not the extra, but Griff is going to get stunned, but nice pull coming out from Makaku, keeping the Sylvanas alive.
Yeah, a couple of stappers pushed in here at the bottom. It's looking worse for wear here for the red team than the blues. And the red team...
You know some games where you think, I need double pull. This is definitely one of those games where Makaku is going to need double kill. Stabs a kill, falls extremely low to the second palm, but Entomb's going to come through onto Iskop. The light bomb's going to come out as well. And Iskop goes down on Lunara. Genji goes in trying to harass on the Li Ming, but it's not going to be enough. And now they're turning it around, but the drag connects onto Johanna. Doesn't have the Iron Skin just available yet, but Stabs a kill is going to be chased down by that Dragon Strike here. The silence comes through as well from the isolation. But the red team, they're able to be healed up by Anduin.
Yeah, this is a 4 versus 5 though, and there's a good chunk onto the unstoppable Johanna, able to pop the Iron Skin, aggressive, falling low and lower, does not have the deflect available. Lucio trying to dance over there, and they are able to get the kill, the heal, but they get the kill onto Muradin instead. This is what Munchies want, this is what they have to do, and this is the danger that will happen now that Munchies have woken up to the fact that Lunara is just getting away with murder, and if they punish it, they can have a 4v5 afterwards.
I mean, it was also the jump being interrupted there, the condemn from Johanna, just the tip catching that Muradin was definitely clutch here. But Genji jump going to be... Oh, there he goes, jumping out to safety. But this means, obviously, the quick kill. Sylvanas then, with the lack of wave clear from the blue team, able to get the kill. Dahaka burrowing to dodge out on that route from Anduin.
I was so
already
waiting.
Up to 4 stacks, by the way, of Piercing Light.
I was so waiting for a Genji E into Dragon Blade to try and clean up that fight while the Wailing Arrow was down. But as you say, Blessed Shield is available as well from Johanna, so could have been shut down either way. It's a very much almost an even game now in experience because of that fight, because of just this bell tower being taken. It's given the red team time to reset and maybe think about their game plan.
Yeah, so they do give the bell tower back after taking it, but obviously as these death timers increase, Sylvanas will be able to just take it at a moment's notice if required here. But Chibi's going to be rooted here. The Blessed Shield's going to come through.
The Li Ming just using the wave
but
of
the fight's not over yet. The light bomb's going to come through. He does connect onto the Merging here. Risk goes in, gets that burrow, gets the damage, gets the lick, and Makaku goes down. And meanwhile, Dragon Strike is just cleaning up in the backline. Stab kill goes down. The stun's going to come through as well. Connects onto Kodiak, and that's going to be 3 members down instead of the 1 dead Lucio there being caught out. Yeah, I'm not sure, but Johanna also didn't press Fresh Shield instantly. So, but yeah, not sure why we'd use Wave of Force there randomly. It seems a bit
Perhaps they thought they were going to get the kill. Perhaps they just thought that that would be the last bit of damage needed. They thought they didn't need the Blessed Shield, but it should have all just been ripped out. Get that quick kill on Lucio, and you'd have been in such a good position here. The aggression may not have been able to come back here from the rest of the blue team, or at least they wouldn't have had a healer. They wouldn't have had those high fives. But now the blue team are firmly in the driver's seat, and it's up to the red team to maybe try and find themselves a lucky pick onto a Lucio, maybe a bit later once again, to get back into this game, rather than getting ahead.
We're going to see there's some harassment going down in the bottom lane. It's not level 16 yet, though, so this is the red team's chance. They do have a Sylvanas. They can disable the structures as well. And there she goes, disabling the structure. So, Dahaka could burrow in down as well, but Shibi's going in, trying to harass them there. Falls quite low.
And as I say, you know, we want to see these Blessed Shields pop, and it's fine. You can almost do it on a nearby target. Hope it pops onto the Lucio as well. Follow up with a quick Entomb or even a Wailing Arrow, just something to shut down this Lucio quickly and get a quick kill. It's not got a lot of HP, but Arabano is that aggressive one, and they do go in so aggressively. We see a beautiful Wailing Arrow, and there it is, onto the Lucio. We see the Muradin cleaned up afterwards as well. Leeman getting that reset. The tongue was great, but the pull was better. And now we see the red team, they're falling low. Kodiak does get a heal from Makaku, thankfully. And I mean, aggressive is one of the players who may have gone for that kill. But look at this, a good returning double kill for the Reds.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really nice play. Lucio going in to try and high-five the Muradin, gets caught out just before the high-five connects. And, you know, that means the red team are in the driver's seat now. They're able to reclaim their bell tower. It's a triple altar phase, but don't worry, Lucio and Muradin will be back just in time for these. It's all even. It's back all even in kills. It's all even in experience. It's even pretty much almost on core shots as well. This is definitely a much better showing from Munchies in game number 2.
I mean, my heart is just pounding right now, Aviator. I'm not quite sure what's going to be happening either way. Blessed Shield back in 1 second. Kodiak could try and find something. The greatest Bell Shield is going to really help Iscorp if they get caught or try to get blown up. But already, you know, we see the pressure being put on here by Iscorp, and Kodiak has fallen dangerously low a couple of times in these fights.
Yeah, Arabana going in for the stun, though, does connect it. The Kodiak with the Blessed Shield turnaround here, and now Griffith's trying to go in, but the Dragon Blade is going to be used. The silence isn't available from Sylvanas for another 7 seconds. But the Dragon Blade is not able to get any kills.
Yeah, a really good route here from Makaku. The double route shutting down the aggression, and the double pull really helping. A solo bolo in the top! Solo bolo! Venom takes the kill against the hacker, and now blue team, although they're able to get this middle channel, they may not be able to get this top one.
Leoric wants it, but he may pay for it with his life after getting that solo bolo, unfortunately for him. And yet, sensibly tries to back up. But Iscorp's going to just run him down, I think. But now Iscorp may be caught out, and definitely going to be caught out. Surely, that's... No shot.
No, the Wailing Arrow committed as well.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's not good damage. It needs to be saved. But we see Aggressive gets caught by the Condemn, but nothing able to be followed up. It's just happening left, right, and center. But the red team can't find the focus right now. They have the kills. They have
Iscorp living there was illegal by the Reds, by the way. That's illegal. That's their first yellow card.
That's a Lunara.
And we don't want to see a second one either. So Johanna pops the Iron Skin early there, able to walk away. But now the blue team is going to contest this. Dahaka is back. Dahaka does have a dig available. Leoric on the way down as they can sense that the fight's going to break out. Here's Arabano, jumps in aggressively, gets the stun onto Makaku. Makaku just trying to appeal for himself. Dahaka dodges out on the route with the burrow, but the pull onto Kodiak, but Kodiak still goes down. Isolation does connect, but they can't find the stun. They can't find the follow-up. Startle Kill actually blinking in on the Genji there. Does have Diamond Skin as well from his level 16, so we'll be able to survive. But this bottom bell tower is under threat. Here's Makaku, who's going to get caught by that stun again. They're going to be chased down and Nara with the damage as well. The self-light bomb's going to come through, but it's not going to be in time, and Genji goes in and secures the kill.
Yeah, but in return, Lucio went down as they all gathered round. Stab, Kill, and Griffiths were happy to oblige the damage, and that has forced the retreat here of the Reds. Yeah, Arabano's done a great job now. They've identified that Makaku is such a strong player and needs to be focused down, meaning that they slow the retreat of Anduin, and while the enemies are still putting the damage on, while his friendlies are still putting the damage on the Johanna, slowing down Anduin means that he can't get in a good angle to get a pull off. So really good job here, and that was what enabled them to get this double kill. But with a Lucio kill on the other side, it's going to prolong the game a little bit longer, and yeah, Unleashed not able to find the choke just yet.
Yeah, Risk able to get the stun, but Iron Skin's going to come out. Wailing Arrow is going to be used by Griffiths to try and peel for his frontliner.
Now this is
So far, we got the red team just sort of trying to regroup at the moment. Here's Lunara's just going to poke, but the self-light bomb coming through the portal. The Blessed Shield follow-up, and Genji goes down. Lunara goes down as well. That's going to be 2 resets for the Liu Ming here. What a play by the Anduin here, but now Kodak looks like he's going to fall, but not in time as he gets the Iron Skin. The pull from Makaku as well, keeping them alive. Arabano's still falling extremely low. Snaps of kill, wants to get the kill, but the stun's going to connect, and he's not going to go down.
Yeah, I've
Makaku, absolute Giga Chad on that Anduin there. Goes through the portal, the self-light bomb. Aye.
I mean,
that's a Giga Chad play if ever I've seen one.
You've heard of flanking DPSs, you've heard of flanking bruisers, but coming in hot here is a flanking healer, and Makaku, absolutely fantastic, as you say. But we see a little bit of pressure going onto the mid lane here as Venom gets a big tongue from Risk, means that they're going to go down. A crucial kill maybe. To stop the bleeding, as level 20 has been picked up here first by the red team. And, you know, they're almost even in shots.
Yeah, 15 against 16. They're able to secure the bottom belt tower, but I want to see them try and defend it. You know, Leoric's going to come back. You've got Sylvanas on the way back as well. Just red team needs to go and sort of live bot now. This is their home. This is what they need to defend. Because the siege damage on the other side, I mean, Genji's got Shingun now, so they will burn this, but the wave clear from the red team should be able to do enough work here.
Yeah, and Lunara obviously has the Thornwood Vine, but they do not have the level 4 talent that does additional damage against non-heroic targets. So it will be a little bit of a slow burn, but level 20 here for now for them. A great deal of talents. The rewind on Muradin is going to put extra pressure on Makaku. We've got the Dragon Awakens as well from the Genji, the high 5 upgrade. Isolation upgrade as well. So many great talents here for the red team and for the blue team, and it could help with just shutting these fights down quickly.
Yeah, so red team not able to defend the bell tower. So double altar phase. So usually you just see a trade going through for either side. So we take a quick look at damage numbers. We do see Lunara topping the charts at 64k. Genji lagging behind a little bit at 40k. You know, right in the Muradin range. On the other side, you see stabs of kill on the Li Ming with 57, and Sylvanas closely following with 55k.
Oh, Venom here. Once again, dueling with Risk on their side of the map. Now, the blue team, of course, they're ahead by 1 HP on that core. So trading for them is still beneficial. And trading they do, as we're down to 11 and 12 core HP.
Yeah, it's a very close Towers of Doom games. Towers of Doom game, 8 kills against 9 for these two teams. And we've got a 5-man rotation coming down from the red team here. They want to try and go in. Johanna's able to get on the point. Pops the Iron Skin as well, not to get booped off the wailing. Arrow's going to come through there's the Blessed Shield, the light bomb, the buried alive. And that's going to be 2 dead on the blue team here. It's a big isolation though, and Genji's there with the Dragon Awakens as well. They've got no shutdown for him. The Condemn's going to come through, but Genji should be able to just swipe out to safety. But Kodiak now is going to fall in trouble, but the pull from Makaku, the heal as well, is going to be there. And Genji's still got his ultimate going here now. Yeah. Griffiths though. Oh, Griffiths is going to go in, Griffiths. Oh, Griffiths not able to go in, not able to get the kill. But Risk though goes in, gets the drag, but there's nice repulsion, wave of force from the Li Ming, able to peel for that Sylvanas. So the red team extremely low, but they're able to win that team fight decisively, you have to say.
Yeah, red team finding that weakness of Chibiz on the Lucio, being that squishy target that they can just get the lockdown. Ooh. And a nice kill here by Stab Kill is going to keep the Munchies in the momentum that they absolutely need. There's no more sappers here for another 38 seconds. They need to be thinking about what else they can do on the map. The boss is up and available, or they can go for a bit of a push with that Sylvanas.
Yeah, I think I'm not quite sure. Well, I mean, it's a double altar phase, so if they get 6,
I think boss they should do. They no, Lunara's up for 40 seconds. They can get both altars here and boss, and that is a checkmate scenario. I think maybe that's what they go for. You know,
I mean, they just get both altars with if they take mid as well.
Of course.
I mean, you can't do maths. I take it.
I just forgot that this would. Yeah.
So Griffiths, going for this. They're trying to defend it now, so this forces the blue team to contest it, and they need to try and get one. Li Ming's going to be able to cap the bottom one, so it's all going to come down to the middle fight here. And Genji forced to back away already.
Oh, the anti-healing from high 5 really making Griffiths be in pain.
So they need to force it though. Lunara's going to be back. Lunara's on the way. We'll go through that mid tunnel as well. Venom though goes in.
Kodiak.
Johanna, all ultimates available for both sides.
Yeah, looking for that Blessed Shield. That Blessed Shield is the engage. That is what they want to go on. Blessed Shield into Entomb, into the Wailing Arrow. Everything just put onto one target. Get that kill quickly. And Iscorp could be that target if everybody's in range. But Kodiak being so patient with this Blessed Shield. They don't have to get this, you know. It is the blue team that have to force this. And the red team are playing that patience well.
Yeah, but Venom's going to fall extremely low. The Wailing Arrow's going to come through to try and peel. That means that's Genji's opening here, but the Blessed Shield shut down here. The Lightball's going to come through as well, but Venom's going to first go down first on the Leoric as Genji's just swiping away now. Kodiak trying to peel for the team. So is Griffiths, but Griffiths is going to get caught by the Dahaka. No blinks available for them, and Sylvanas goes down.
Yeah, but Arabano...
I'm not quite sure about that Wailing Arrow. That was, it seemed a bit loose, unfortunately. And, you know, as soon as it was used, Genji was just like, hello, goes in. And
he comes out swiping like a man on Tinder, just going left and right, trying to find anything. I mean, they've still not got it. The blue team are playing patiently, Aviator.
Yeah, they're trying to take back some bell towers. They want to try and put them in a position where, you know, maybe they could try and look for... They've only got 3 shots available to fire at them here.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to put them onto 8, and 8 is a good number. It's a multiple of 4, and that means a lot.
But stab kill.
Oh, the pull is there to keep them alive, but everyone else has to go in. The Entomb is there, the Light Bomb as well. It's putting a lot of damage onto everybody, but they are going to get away because of this high five. Dahaka goes down, though. The triple silence as they die keeps everybody on the blue team in safety. A crucial kill here for the red team, as they might be able to get back in the game and find some sappers, find some additional core HP, and maybe go for a boss play.
Yeah, I mean, blue team want to try and take it off the map, I assume, at the moment here, and you've got the blue team just going up to try and scout it out. But yeah, essentially, you know, it's all to play for both sides still.
I feel like boss is so risky either way, because if red team try and go for it, the blue team are going to capitalize. They've got the Genji to try and force those HP bars down low, and you know, when the boss does these big splash, everyone gets hit. And so the red team need to try and bait it and find that action. But right now, look at Kodiak just getting shredded by the boss. It does percentage damage, Aviator.
Yeah, Sylvanas going to be chased down there. There's going to be the Buried Alive not connecting onto anybody here. There's going to be the Meridian popping the heel. Kodiak is going to go down. The Lightball's going to come out from Makaku, who's not going to connect onto anyone. And Genji's going to clean up this fight. And that's 3 members down already for the red team. 4 members down. Make that GG, as I don't think Munchies will be able to defend this one. And Unleashed are going to take it. Boss and Alter wins the game.
As I say, multiples of 4. That's 1 from the boss and another from the Alter. Yep. That was tough there. As I say, you know, the blue team, they just had to wait. Red team were putting pressure on. Maybe not going for boss was the play. It's so hard there for Munchies. They wanted to close out the game, but ultimately the blue team, Unleashed, have done a fantastic job here to secure the win with that last flurry from Genji and Lunara. GG, well played. Game number 2 goes over to Munchies in this best of 5 series.
Yeah, I mean, I just think if Sylvanas held the arrow, also, I'm not quite sure of the level 20 talent. You really kind of need Bolt in those situations. The Dahaka is constantly being aggressive. The Murdim is constantly jumping in. You know, you kind of want that extra safety as well. So, fortunately, I think it could have been slightly adjusted there, I think, unfortunately. But nevertheless, it was a strong showing from the Munchies. 14 kills against 13. It was just a huge team fight for Unleashed.
I mean, it absolutely was. And they knew exactly what they were doing. We described it ourselves, you know, that they just had to play patiently for what was going to go down. And yeah, and they did. And, you know, Johanna just took so much damage from the boss. And I think it was just one of those scenarios that sometimes 4v5 against the boss is just not going to be enough. And, you know, they didn't quite identify that. The blue team were playing so well around it, making sure to not give that opportunity of the engage beforehand. And not having the barrier alive, sort of, it was used quite early, meant that, you know, they didn't have a way to shut down the Genji using that Dragon Blade with the Dragon Becomes Me.
Yeah, the light bomb didn't connect either, unfortunately. So it was just lots of misses. It was just a messy fight. The first one, really, of that game, you'd have to say, for the Munchies, really. Their first sort of misplay, and it was just punished instantly by Unleashed. So kudos to them. So map number 3. Where do you think we're going to go? in the pool that's left. We've got Sky Temple, we've got Volskaya, we've got Battlefield, and we've got my least favorite, Ultrak.
Yeah, we do have a varied pool here. I would say it could be Sky Temple, you know? I think it could be Sky Temple. And just because a little bit of funkiness, and that might be what Munchies need. I mean, we've seen them. They're playing incredibly competently. And if you said that there was one Div 1 team and one Div 3 team, it would be very hard. But it's going to be Battlefield of Eternity.
Oh, thank heavens.
Battlefield of Eternity, picked, by the way, by the red team.
I was just dreading that it would be Ultrak.
So picked here by Munchies. Now, before we get into that, let me fade back to our faces and say a little bit about our off-season tournament. Off-season is currently available to sign up. You can sign up as an individual. I'm going to post a link in the chat. Hopefully it won't kick me out. So I'm going to post a little link about it. There's a sign-up form for it this time. You sign up as an individual. You're going to get picked as drafted by some team captains. If you want to be a team captain, you can sign up as a team captain as well. And basically, it's open to everyone, all skill levels. It's going to be split into divisions, a bit like the Nexus Rumble, between an upper and a lower series, I believe, just to sort of make it a little bit fairer, get people sort of approximately around your skill level. So if you want to play with some people whom you don't know, maybe make some new friends. This is sort of an off-season thing that was often ran by a member of the community. By the name of, let me just get their name up, Nebtibis. And they've ran it a lot previously in their private Discord, and they've come to Heroes Lounge saying, look, I always love the work that you're doing. I've always run this in the off-season. Can you help me out? And yeah, go sign up for the off-season tournament. The link is in the chat right now. If you want to do that, that will be... So sign-ups end at the end of this week, I believe. And there'll be a draft show similar on next Sunday. Of course, if you're only interested in the main season and want to know a little bit more about the teams going into playoffs, there'll be the playoff preview show on this channel next Monday at 20 CEST as well.
It is Monday.
Yeah, the playoff preview will be on Monday. It's currently wrong on the schedule, but it'll be next Monday, same time as the Nexus Rumble.
So it's the Nexus Rumble next week?
No. The same time as the Nexus Rumble has been all season.
That's at 20 CEST.
At 20 CEST. But yeah, go to the Discord, check out the announcements. There'll be a post in there by Neptibis, who has brought their tournament here to Heroes Lounge. Go get involved if you want to play some HOTS, get some action here, or just if you want to get involved in Heroes Lounge, look at the Discord, ! Discord, or find our Discord link underneath here. It's all very good. But yeah, let's get back to this map then, Aviator. Battlefield of Eternity, what can we expect?
I mean, I think Li Ming will come out. Again, I think the Hanzo ban's probably going to be consistent. We've seen it banned on Tomb, on Towers. So I'd assume on his probably one of his best maps that he'll be banned again. Valor could make a return as well. We saw it from Status of Kill in game number 1. Obviously, you tend to see a different sort of variety of builds from Valor on this map. You can still go for that AA carry. We could see some double support shenanigans. I'd love to see like a Maiev come through for one of the sides, though. I mean, it was banned out in game 1, I believe, against Unleashed. So perhaps we'll get something similar, or we'll get to pick it in this map.
Yeah, well, we will have to wait and see. Yeah, I think on this map, certainly, that Sylvanas is going to be such a key pick, and you've said that. We might see the Brightwing come out again. Offlane is going to be interesting, I think, for sure. Obviously, we've had some very map-dependent offlaners, like the Dehaka and Leoric, very good on towers. Blaze, very good, obviously, on Tomb. So here, Battlefield Eternity. Game number 3 here in our Upper Series Nexus Rumble Grand Final. Now, we have a best of 5, and this is match point here for Unleashed. They could cinch it. It's championship point, even, Aviator.
Yes. Championship point of the upper... Is it still called the Upper Rumble?
It is. This is the Upper Rumble, yeah. The Nexus Rumble Upper Series.
Upper Series, Yep. So ban-wise, let's see what we're going to get out. Are they going to just remove the Valera and say we don't want any sort of cheese, any shenanigans from stab, kill? I mean, again, it's not one of the better maps for her. But perhaps they just want to remove it just in case they're feeling a little bit threatened, perhaps.
Yep, but it is going to be Hogger. That sort of ban has come through consistently against the Munchies.
Yeah, I don't think they play it then, obviously. That shows their hand a little bit, that they do not play the Hogger. There's the Hanzo ban coming out. We saw Johanna ban. We've seen a Garrosh ban as well. A Garrosh on this map as well, obviously one of his better ones. So maybe they ought to remove it, or perhaps they've got something lined up if they pick it this time around.
Yeah.
But they're having a think here on the side of Unleashed.
Well, Makaku's shown so much strength on that Stukov, but obviously Munchies have been first pick these first 2 games, and this is going to be the one that they're not first pick on.
They're removing the lead name already. Okay, the respect ban coming out on Stab Stab Kill. He did do a lot of work in that last game, and they're going to ban out the Blaze. So tanks available, supports all available.
Yeah, I think Unleashed have shown that they can play with either Garrosh or Muradin. You know, they're slightly different, but not that much different. Muradin is definitely much a go in, lock them down. Garrosh obviously goes in, throws them to your team, and gets it all sorted. Yeah, there's some information about the off-season there now in the chat from Samu. You can get some more on there now. Vala here, being picked up by Unleashed. Wisely so here, as we saw it from Stab Stab Kill beforehand, and now it's by Iscorp. Do you think Valera is an option on this map?
I mean, they need to do something to make it happen, but they're going to lock in the Stukov. Perhaps we'll see double support Vala. You know, it is BOE. It is a map known for it as well, having that sort of Vala hypercarry. But it's going to be the Sylvanas again, picked up by Griffiths.
Yeah, we're only going to have 5 minutes now on the clock of the prediction, so make sure you get them in nice and quickly. Yeah, Stukov and Sylvanas being picked up here. I do wonder what we'll see from the rest of the Munchies composition, but Unleashed right now, they're probably going to be thinking about picking up their tank if they really, really want something. As, yeah, obviously the ban phase is coming up soon, and Munchies will be sure to ban a Garrosh, perhaps. But there's Rexar.
That is a Rexar, where they're trying to deny some sort of composition that they thought they might get on the other side. But it doesn't look like it, perhaps. But yeah, third ban coming in for Munchies.
Yeah.
Is it going to be the Garrosh removal?
I think Garrosh is really good at protecting the Valor, protecting the Rexar, and sort of going in with the Misha. I think you have to get rid of Garrosh here. And it's going to be Uther, which...
Well, I don't want to play into that double support kind of setup.
Yeah.
Removing it to make sure that it's not going to be played as a second support or as a main tank as well. Obviously, Uther can fulfill that role in double support compositions.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit of scouting here that Munchies have done, a little bit of information into Unleashed that we were unable to dig out from them. But I think that the Uther also indicates perhaps we're going to see some aggressive plays from Munchies. You know, the Uther obviously great at locking some people down.
It was going to be a Genji themselves.
Yeah, this is the thing. You know, giving some armor, making sure some protection. I could see a Genji. I could see the Valera come out here from Stab Stab Kill. I mean,
yeah,
they've got last pick. They've got last pick. They've got last pick. Valera is
yeah,
still
but Genji could be picked on the other side as well. They did pick it in the last game and won with it as well. Yeah, we won't talk about how, but what 2 picks are we going to get? It's going to be an Artanis. Oh god, I'm going to have to listen to you talk about how good Artanis is again now in the Nexus Rumble. And paired with ETC.
Look, when that was the winner stays on Nexus Rumble, it was great. Because, you know, there was always stakes on the line. And now in the current Nexus Rumble, there's rarely stakes on the line. But here, this is the grand final, Aviator. There are stakes on the line. And that is why it's so good that they have picked Artanis here in the potentially last match. You know, they're pulling all the stops out. Artanis on this map is the map to play Artanis. We know it. Rich 500 knows it. And we are seeing it. There's going to be an amateur opponent most likely here. Or it could be stacking for days. We see Thrall come in. We see Tyrael. This is a heavy front line. Valor is the only one who's going to be a squishy target if Stab Stab Kill wants to go for that Valera. They've left it open, Aviator. This could be the chance that they have something creative, something innovative in the Nexus Rumble, the most innovative tournament that HOTS has ever seen in all of its lifetime, in all of its patches. The Nexus Rumble is here, and I've monologued for so long that we've got a Maiev. Resident Sleeper in the chat.
A Maiev. I like Thrall.
I like the Thrall. The Thrall is really good. I think it prevented stab kill from going Valera or anything more aggressive, because the Artanis could go in, cause a bit of chaos with the Valera. The Valera gets the stun. Maybe Artanis gets the swap out. The ETC has the power slide. They've got some good tools here. The Tyrael might get shut down a little bit by ETC. What are your opinions about that, Aviator?
I like the Thrall.
You like the Thrall? Green Thrall?
I'm a big Crash believer, okay? Personally, a big Crash enthusiast, okay? I know everyone picks Rolling Thunder, and it's a very good talent, but, you know, Trash Lightning gets value.
It does, you know? It will get some pokey value, but Stukov, arguably, very good at healing up the poke. I would hasten to see Green Thrall here. You're going to be doing a lot of auto attacks into Artanis and ETC, most likely.
But stacks.
But stacks. You're absolutely right, but stacks. And Artanis may be going stacks as well, so we'll have to wait and see which of these two stack out the other as we go into here the potential final game here, as their life is on the line. But in the blue, the champions are waiting. Potentially, all they need is this one map. It's Chibiz on the Rexar, it's Iscorp on the Valor, it's Arabano on the Tyrael. We've got Aggressive on Thrall, and up in the top we do have Risk on the Rexar.
And on the right-hand side for Munchies, their tournament life championship point on the line. They need a win. We've got Makaku on Stukov, Sub Kill on the Maiev, Griffiths on the Sylvanas, Venom on the Artanis, and Kodiak playing ETC.
Yeah, and already we have a little bit of a rotational fun going on here for the blue team.
Thrall holding the talent. He could impress us all.
He could impress us all. Sorry about the FPS drops, by the way. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Shouldn't be happening, but maybe it's just that hot right now.
Yeah, so we're thinking about it here, but obviously how much work the Maiev can do. Obviously, Maiev will be able to disrupt them around, and Maiev is really good around the Immortals fights. And yes, we have the red Thrall here, as we are going to see the stun coming out onto Chibiz, onto that Raygosh, running for his life, gets the heal off, and will survive with a slither of HP. The shields from Tyrael keeping them alive. That's that level 1 for you. The Justice for All.
Yeah, Justice for All, really good at helping these things out. But I must say, one thing that the blue team is lacking a lot of is CC. They have basically none on their side. They've got a root from Thrall, they've got stun from Misha, and then potentially, obviously, Rain of Vengeance and Judgment if they really want it. But yeah, very weak on the side of CC here for the blue team.
Yeah, they are going to struggle a little bit in team fights, you know, but Positive's hoping to run them down. I don't really want to see an Earthquake, though, I think, because I think Maiev really wants to fight them, right? So I think you just look for quick blow-ups with Sundering, maybe Judgment and Sunder, and you just go for like a one-shot kind of potential with QEQ on the Valor as well. Perhaps that's what we're going to see. But, you know, we'll have to wait until level 10. We're only at level 2 for now. And so far, wave clear-wise, favouring the blue team, able to try and pressure them out. We've got Sylvanas going top lane, but now coming back. It was a fake.
It was all a fake, and they could be going for a little bit of a fight here. ETC very good in the early game. Tyrael not so great. Sells has that Justice for All, of course, but there we go. Kodiak slides onto the point. There's a lot of damage here. Maiev is going to be happy as well to go for these fights, getting the pull out, but Kodiak forgets to get on the point. Has to bully them back off. Maybe the silence is helping out as well. They do get this point here, and Rexar was rotated halfway down, which just gave Tyrael Artanis a little bit of space. Sorry, brain. Not
engaged here, as we do see a slide. ETC holding the W, by the way, not pressing it, obviously waiting for Makaku's silence follow-up. So nicely played. Like same on the point as well. ETC slid in, kept his W just in case that they needed it for some peels or to try and secure some kills. But we are going to see hard camp versus hard camp now being taken. Both camps going for their bruisers. Both teams rather going for their bruisers to try and have this push while the immortal phase is going to be going on.
I genuinely am quite worried about the lack of CC that the blue team have. You know, we've seen them play really, really well, but the red team have shown up today. And although that was a bit of a bad beat, that last game, having this lockdown, having the ETC potentially have a mosh pit and there's barely any interrupts, it could just be one team fight where they get what they want. And this is a prime example where they could potentially get the pull on Aggressive. The slide is there, and look at the damage coming out, and that just means that Aggressive falls down to 100 HP and is taken care of. The stacks from the level 4 talent are gone.
Yeah, 6 stacks on level 1, though. We do enjoy some Trash Lightning stacks. And also, you know, if they go to Volsky Foundry, perhaps we'll see a repeat of Thrall. But we do have Valor racing in the top lane. Obviously, Vala does have double Q, but eats the immortal stun. Vala, not like this.
Oh, and gets away from the wailing Banshee wave, but a stun, the one bit of CC comes out.
Yeah, that was a classic call an ambulance, but not for me moment. As Iscorp baits the Sylvanas with the immortal stun, and then Griffiths unfortunately using that E aggressively and getting punished for it, rightly so. But how can the blue team defend? They need someone to race here, but they're not able to. But they get the stun knocked down onto ETC. The route not quite there from Thrall just yet. They are still trying to chase them down though.
Yeah, and this is what the blue team can do. You know, they lack the CC. But they can try and get that chase down with the slows and the root from Thrall. But yeah, ultimately, that Misha engage is their only sort of proper stun. And they're using it very well at the moment, and Makaku's found himself in a bit of danger, but getting the Misha kill means that this Immortal should now be free for the red team to claim. And guess who is on their team, Aviator? It is the lady herself, the Dark Lady, Sylvanas.
Yep, Sylvanas is a very win more hero, obviously. If you've got an objective to push, oh no, risk. Oh, sidestep, God though, dodges out on the sidestep here. The sidestep on the ground from Makaku. There's going to be the tether pulling them back in, but it's not going to be enough. And Griffiths actually falling extremely low, forced to E out to safety. But meanwhile, all that fight was going on, by the way. Thrall got 4 stacks on that level 1 talent. Thrall does exceptionally well. Using his root as wave clear, that's not stacking it for you, unfortunately, there, Thrall.
You know, desperate time comes for desperate measures as a little bit of a silence engage here, just to zone out on the side of things. Unfortunately, you know, because there was a little bit of a hesitation from the red team and they had to back away, they perhaps not got the fullest...
What is with the mortal stuns?
They're hard to see at the moment. You know, the new patch made them harder to see. I say they weren't getting the most, but this is a really good stun here onto Thrall, and now they're going to get so much damage. Meanwhile, Stab Kill is putting pressure on Chibis and Iscorp, and they do get a full fort here. I eat my words fully, Aviator.
Yeah, and also Stab Kill in that team fight did complete his level 4 quest, hit 4 enemy heroes with a single fan of knives to instantly gain all the rewards, which means they'll get that full damage now of an extra 35% on that Q.
That's a chunk. That's a lot of chunk, and especially early on, you know, this can really help with gaining some quick kills, especially when you've got the ETC to help control. And they're collapsing down now because top lane does not matter to red team now. They can have a full 5-man fight. They can put the pressure on, and you know, Misha interrupting the rotation, but the red team are already there. Munchies ahead in XP for the first time pretty much in this series. They are doing so well on this map after such an angry loss there on Towers of Doom.
Yeah, so far blue team just sort of misplaying the team fights at the moment, you know, getting caught out, overstepping slightly, and yeah, once they sort of, you know, slow down, reconvene, they're a level behind in experience there, which is really bad news because the issue they're going to have is that the Immortal is going to spawn soon, and I don't think they'll be able to get level 10 in time for at least the halftime show anyway. They may get it in time for the second half of it, but now Griffiths on the Sylvanas just disabling the structures in this bottom lane, and they're just 5-man sieging this down. Stab Kill goes in though, misses the tether. Now Vala's going to try and chase him down. Swap's going to connect as Iscorp walks into it. The tether's going to connect as well. The cleanse comes through from Rhaegar, but it's not enough, and Iscorp goes down. Almost like I just said, that they keep getting caught out accidentally, and then, you know, red team are just capitalizing on it now.
Yeah, and look at this. They have the Sylvanas. They can push a little bit. They are using black arrows on it, I think. It's hard to tell on this model. No, it's not.
No. The fort will go darker.
Okay, thank you, Aviator. Thank you.
And it looks like a third mana bar appears on Sylvanas.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Third mana bar.
A third bar.
I don't look like too much of a fool now, but Kodiak zoning out. Of course, they have the mosh pit available. There's the blind available as well for Venom, but no need just yet. They have this level 10. The blue team do not yet. The red team could go for the full-on aggression, and in going aggression they do. Kodiak not even going for the mosh pit just yet. They could have gone for a solo mosh if they really wanted, but out come the boars. We have Strafe! Oh, of course we have Sundering. There's the interrupt on the other side of things.
We have what? Yeah, we do have Sundering here. Mosh Pit's going to be used, but Thrall is caught in it. Gets the Sunder off there as well as with the Wailing Arrow follow-up here. As the stun comes through, that's sanctification being used on the cage engage as well. And Kodiak is going to go down. That's what the blue team desperately needed here. Stab Kill going to be stunned down by the Misha as well, being hunted down and goes down. 2 quick kills for the blue team. That's what they needed. It was a brilliant sanctification on that cage. You know, Maev thinks they're going in. They've got a fat 5-man cage, but Tyrael on the other side says, well, I've got a fat sanctification. and able to protect his team.
Yeah, I mean, super stuff here, and that's what we like to see. You know, it's unfortunate. Was Thrall in the mosh pit? I couldn't quite see, or did Chibbers get the cleanse on them? It's so hard to tell, but this means that the blue team are going to have their first immortal, although they are down 2 forts. This is going to be where they try and make up for one of those losses.
Yeah, they don't have a huge amount of push power. You know, they've only got Vala as the range, but Thrall still stacking 17 stacks. When he completes it, his damage will really ramp up.
Yeah, and you know, it will really.
He's already topping the charts for his team at 23.1, but aggressive sidesteps on the swap attempt there by Altanis, but the defense from the red team is pretty good. The Sundering comes through, though. They're trying to go for Makaku here. The roots come out, but the swipes are there from Makaku. Misha's not able to connect that stun, bounces off the gate. That's a lot of ultimates used on both sides.
Yeah, and Venom is still looking. There's a swap, but it goes onto Misha, and they're gonna try and get a little bit of damage onto Misha, and it forces the blue team back, actually, and the red team are able to defend this fort. Solid stuff here from the red team, and they're so even in XP right now. Like, there's 100 XP difference. It's insane. These guys are stepping up so much. I'm loving what Munchies are putting out.
Yeah, and the thing is, they know the blue team are going to be on the bottom camp. They're not going to be there in time, so you can just push. You've got Sylvanas, right? You can just take a wall for free.
Oh, and you know, they're sensing this. They're sensing that the blue team are going to go for that camp, and they can just take this, and they'll easily go back in time, or they can just keep going for the keep if they don't come back. But yeah, I think now is the time to leave, and they need to think about it. Misha has used the stun. Venom is a little bit in danger, but a quick silence from Makaku means that stops the aggression coming out from the blues.
Yeah, the Blues not able to find their engage, but they're caught. You know, they've caught back in experience. It's 3 kills to 3, a dead even game in experience. Not in structures though; those favouring the red team here. The Division 3 underdogs in map number 3. But we are going to see the blue team commit to the top fort. We do see Altanis in the bottom lane still clearing, which means the blue team have their windows. Vala vaulting around.
Yeah, the chess-like moves almost coming out here, you know. The camp was taken on the bot, so the red team went for the top wall. The red team went down to defend the camp, and the blue team tried to put the aggression here at the top, but the reds, they thought ahead. They're 6 moves ahead of the blues right now. They are thinking so clearly, and I'm just so willing to get behind them. As you said, the underdogs, Aviator. We believe in them. I certainly believe in them. I'm believing. Yeah. I'm believing. They have Sylvanas. Come on, Aviator.
I think 20 blue team just auto wins though. I think the classic bolt sundering Thrall plays, the flanking Green Jesus will carry them to victory here. But that's a really tight immortal race, slightly favouring the blue team though.
Yeah, we need to see something come out of the Reds here. They do have the Mosh obviously available, as well as Warden's Cage. They need to try and sort of maybe group them together, or at least interrupt a sanctification.
Oh, Vala! What is that? Unfortunately, that's a pre-ancestral as well. Vala getting caught out there.
Misha goes down as well. Now, that may not seem like a lot to most people, but Misha going down is their prime engage, their prime CC, and it really does help a lot for the blue team. So it's opened up a bit of space, and the red team, they can defend their bots while the top is defended by the blues, and this means that they can push in and try and get a little bit of siege damage done onto this immortal.
Yeah, there was a nice attempt there by Arabano using the Holy Ground to try and push Sylvanas into the boss stun, but didn't quite work. Now, we've got the blue team all back as 5. They cleared out top lane. There's still 1 catapult there, so they are going to keep pressure, but they don't care. They want to try and look for the engage here. Arabano pops this self-shield. They're now turning their attentions back onto Misha here as Venom goes in, misses the swap here, but the stun doesn't connect, and the Wailing Arrow turnaround with the blind means they are able to connect the kill onto Misha.
Yeah, and it slowly means more. You know, these Misha kills will take longer and longer to come back, and hopefully they can find something. But without that Wailing Arrow, I'm a bit worried that we're going to have the cleanse. We're going to have the sanctification for if something happens. And something has happened. Risk has got caught here. Now we see the cleanse comes out, but so does the Sundering. Mosh Pit's not yet to be used, and Rexar does get taken down. Sanctification is the only saving tool now. And although the blue team got a lot of damage done onto this immortal, the red team are definitely feeling ahead right now.
I mean, the blue team are making Altanis look amazing in this draft setup. I mean, somehow Altanis is hitting swap after swap on to these blue team members. Again, the swap almost connecting, but it was a nice route from Thrall there, predicting that Artanis is going to go in. So the Immortal goes over to the Munchies, but it will only have a small shield.
Is it not the hero Aviator, but just the players you've seen play Artanis, like myself and Rich 500?
We don't mention that name.
We don't mention it. Anyway, as we go on here, we see that these guys are pushing down this bot lane with a barely shielded Immortal, but they do have the fantastic Sylvanas to help embody this push. A little bit of possession and a little bit of the black arrows onto the structures.
I want to see Griffiths. I really want to see Griffiths hold his black arrows here, because what you can do is once the Immortal goes into melee range, once his shield breaks and he goes into melee range, you can then really force past this keep, disable the keep as well, and you could even potentially look for core then as well with this level 16. So unfortunately Griffiths there popping the trigger a little bit too early, but Swap's going to connect again onto Venom here. They are going to get the tether, but only onto Misha this time as a strafe comes out, trying to back up this red team as they really want to try and take this keep.
Yeah, level 16 is here, but ultimately it's just going to be the Immortal putting the pressure on the keep, and it does not get taken down. Obviously something the red team can think about a little bit later, and they are looking to maybe think about something. They're going in, they go for the mosh pit. The Sunder is available, the Sanctification is there as well to help cleanse it. The Ancestral is used. So many tools here just for a mosh pit and a Warden's Cage. But at the same time, those are some big tools for the red team as well.
I mean, the Sanctification was clutch. Did not expect that to come out there.
It really helped. It helped so much. It allowed Rhaegar to just stay alive for so long, and obviously ultimately negated the effects of what the red team were trying to do. But now they can put a little bit more pressure on here. They are in charge right now, Aviator. They are fully in charge. They've got a catapult in the top lane. They do not need to worry about that. And all they need to be worried about is if they can keep Kodiak alive when he tries to find these flanks.
Yeah, it's essentially just that, really. The red team trying to force it. The blue team can just play passive now at the moment. They don't need to force anything. There's no keep under threat at the moment for them either. So they're still 100% in this game. And the BOE, the later the game goes, the more that Immortal scales, and the more they'll be able to open up a win condition for themselves as well. And we may have a 5v5 fight coming out over at this top camp.
Yeah, of course. At level 13. ETC has gone for Encore, so it means that they will be reducing the cooldown of their mosh pit when they are able to just get those little cheeky peels every so often against the Tyrael. But ultimately, right now, 25 seconds still left on that major cooldown.
Yeah, and red team are just going to set up. They're going to happily give top camp. They'll take their bruiser, which will match it. And the blue team are going to be slightly late to the camp, and yeah, they're just going to set up to race. Rightly so for them.
Yeah, and it is a racing setup here. So we're going to have Artanis Stukov against the full might of the blue team. Sylvanas just popped a little bit top to maybe try and get a little bit more pressure, and that means that they are going to be a bit behind in this race, but by not a lot. Only about 4,000 damage here behind for the side of the red team.
Yeah, and we're going to have blue team now take their own hard camp, which will even out that catapult pressure in the bottom lane. Top is going to need to be addressed with, so we're going to have to see the blue team maybe try and look for a quick fight as aggressive. Is Slid again on that Thrall. Misha looks like they're going to go down, but not before. But the Mosh Pit's going to come through. The cleanse comes out from Thrall. The Sanctification is going to be used as well. Sanctification keeping Misha alive. The Sun Ring comes through. Doesn't really connect though, and the swipes from Makaku able to peel for his team. But Makaku's going to be hunted down here, but nice peel from Artanis able to get in the way. And now the blue team is going to turn their attention to this Immortal. They want to try and race it before that top camp can do work to their keep. But the red team are not done yet as ETC goes in, gets a 3-man slide. The knockback's not going to be there though. Satarkill looking for the follow-up here. The tether's going to connect onto Tyrael. There's no Sanctification going to be used, but Venom's falling extremely low. But Ancestral comes through, keeping Arabano alive. The silence on the ground from Stukov though, trying to peel for that Kodiak ETC. The top keep is gone. The blue team just need to secure this Immortal now.
Yeah, it's the only thing they can do. The red team are going back. They are tucking their tail between their legs, and the blue team are feeling more and more aggressive right now. Stab kill was incredible with the Warden's Cage, but it did not net them enough. But it bought them time. It bought them time to get that top keep, and that is going to be crucial as this bot lane is going to be pressured by the Immortal. And I think, the red team are more than happy to try and defend this because there's so much pressure just going in that top lane. We do have ourselves a little cheeky pause. So, it's intense right now. It's so intense, and I loved what the red team used. They did. They used the mosh pit to push out the other cooldowns, and then Warden's Cage later, rather than using them both at the same time, which they've done in the previous team fights, and caused them a little bit of issue. But we're going to be going right back into the action now, aren't we, Aviator?
Yeah, it's only a quick little pause. Looks like one of the teams having a little bit of small lags there. So back into game number 3 with this. Immortal is going to be met straight away here. They're going to put out a lot of damage onto it, trying to break down that shield as Rex are forced to clear out one more wave in the top lane. So the shield's already gone down. Artana's just burning it with that amateur opponent.
Yeah, and you know, it was a big shield, but there's a double root here. The cleanse comes out, but that's the only cleanse they've got. The Immortal is there to stun, as well as the Sundering, pushing away the red team, and a stun comes out. The root is there. Artanis goes down. This is a great news here for the blue team, and we have seen them capitalize on these small victories every single time, and this will be no exception.
Well, I'm not sure how much they can get done, though. That's the only thing. They don't have any Mosh interrupts here. As UTC slides in, but he's going to get stunned. He's going to get locked down here. The Wailing Hour is going to come out, try and peel for him here. The Sanctification going to be used by Tyrael over the wall. Caught out. They need to try and break through this gate immediately. Otherwise, Tyrell's going to get stunned, going to get killed, and going to go down. We'll get some trait value on the keep and on... Never mind.
I was screaming in my head there for ETC to just press R. You know, you're in a dangerous situation, but just press R. And, you know, you can do something. But obviously, Arabano was there with the Sanctification if needed. But Tyrael being down here, this could be a return keep if the Reds wanted it.
Yeah, and as we say, look at damage numbers quickly for a moment. Who is leading the charts for both sides? It is, of course, the Green Jesus himself, Thrall. 71,000 damage for him. But damage isn't everything. Said nobody ever. Of course it matters who's top damage. You can blame your entire team if you lose the game, but you're top damage.
I mean, you're seeing all that top damage, but there's over 100k healing here for Makaku. Makaku, by the way, playing a different build on the Stukov to what they did in game number 1. Warden's Cage here, using for a bit of peel, but ultimately they still don't get that that keep.
So 20s are going to be in soon for the red team, but blue team aren't going to be far behind. They should have it in time for this Immortal phase. And then, you know, 20, we're going to have Blink for Thrall. We're going to have Acrobat to Vala as well, just dashing around. And that's going to be it's a huge damage increase as well to Vala, honestly, having that third vault.
Yeah, and it can be. But we have the Wailing Arrow upgrade here.
Just don't.
Which is sort of very hard talent to use. It's a very small area that that gets the additional silence. So they're going to have to be precise in landing on top of the Tyrael or the Rhaegar. Those are the targets they really want to focus on.
Just pick Bolt. Bolt exists.
But now we have the Sanctification upgrade,
Oh,
the Acrobat.
Risk.
We have the World Splitter here, so we're going to have some physical stuff. But there we see a little Misha gets taken down.
Yeah, so Vala now has that triple vault available. A little bit lower mana, so maybe just go up to race. This is the thing, the Q-build Vala does burn a lot of your mana, unfortunately.
Yeah, and now the red team just trying to position around. They find Tyrael. Can they find anything more? They've got the silence. The World Breaker comes out. Kodiak uses Blink safely here.
Yeah, the swipes from Makaku coming through. They're trying to peel, but we do catch the stun onto Makaku. He's going to have one swipe left, and there it is. Risk, though, trying to chase them down. And the red team just trying to defend under their own Immortal, but they are running away. Misha,
come, but
okay.
Risk is Hearthstoning. That's why they didn't care about Misha, because there's so much pressure here on the top, and they know that. They would have seen that Misha just disappeared and be like, why has that happened? And then probably realized that Rexar's gone back to the base. And this means that they can put a lot of race on here on this Immortal. They can put a lot of pressure onto the blue team. And with that, they're going to pop this first Immortal phase here for potentially the last Immortal.
Yeah, so camp going to be cleared out by Rexar and then join the fight again. And now they want to try and set up for their own race. Iscorp, you can't vault next to a bush, unfortunately. He's going to get caught out. Nice cleanse from Rhaegar, though, coming out, keeping them alive. There's going to be the upgraded Sundering from Thrall, that World Breaker value coming through, blocking them from the Immortal. There's going to be the upgraded Paws as well, but the blind coming out from Artanis' Strace going to come through. And, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of ultimates being pressed here. We still have Ancestral. We still have Sanctification here. Nice root from Thrall. Pops that level 7 times as well. Ancestral Wrath there coming out, keeping him alive.
Yeah, Kodak's being controlled so well here by just the Earthbind Totem. Just that 90% slow really stops any advance that they want to do. Good stuff here from Chibis on the Rhaegar. But now we see a potential engage here as Arabano is looking to try and get on that flank, looking to try and find something. But, you know, they can't wait too long. Worldbreaker is up and available once again, by the way. This is the value of that level 20 talent. It's not just the terrain it leaves, but that cooldown reduction.
It's definitely not the terrain it leaves.
Oh, here we go. Kodiak going in, trying to find something, but they didn't manage to get aggressive. But they use it the wrong way, and now they're going to try and do it. The Ancestral comes out, keeping everyone alive. The end of the mosh pit, and everyone is still up and available. The red team are having to retreat, but Stab Kill goes in. The Sanctification is there. Stab Kill is going to go down. That's a crucial kill here for the blue team, and can they find anything more? Two more kills here. Stukov and Sylvanas go down. The blue team potentially looking to end the game now. They can either try and finish off the Immortals, they get another kill, but they're going to just go straight through bot here. It got taken down by catapults, and it looks like...
Stop racing, just go bot lane.
Sunmilk City saying not again. They believed in the Munchies. I believed in the Munchies, but the blue team unleashed this Division 1 Plus team, showing why they are Division 1 Plus. Just these last team fights is all you need sometimes. Just make that opportunity that you can end the game towards the end. And ultimately...
Big mosh pit. But it's going to be interrupted amidst the World Breaker value coming through as they turn their attention onto the core. And I don't think this is going to be clownable. I don't think a lone ETC, a lone cow will be able to defend this, as Unleashed are crowned the Upper Rumble champions of this season.
Aviator, it was a pleasure. It didn't deserve to be a 3-0.
No, unironically, I think Munchies... Yeah, they should have had a map or two at least. A map at least. Arguably, I don't think it should have been that close in this one.
It was, yeah.
But yeah.
But that's sometimes just the pressure, and this is the thing that Unleashed. They are a Division 1 Plus team. We have to say the Munchies were, they were the dark horses coming into this, and the fact that Unleashed maybe just making those later game decisions a little bit better, a little bit knowing what to do in these team fights where it just gets a little bit hectic, and we had the Sanctification having so much value. You said absolutely that Unleashed, once they get to level 20, it's going to be a better fight for them, and we saw that. Munchies winning almost all throughout the game, but just this last fight really struggled for Munchies, and it showed. And, ultimately, Unleashed, they've done a fantastic job. They won so many games in the main Rumble season, and they've come through here, go 3-0 in the end. It doesn't paint the whole picture. Munchies did so well, and we're going to have this uploaded onto YouTube. I'm going to post it onto Reddit because it's such a good series to watch. I mean, game number 1, definitely Unleashed, but Munchies, they could have had 2 and 3. Had they just...
They should have definitely had 2. They just two was their map for sure. 100%. Just one messy fight, and it got completely punished by Unleashed. And that's the difference at higher ranks. Is the higher up you go, the more your mistakes will just cost you. It's just the way of the world. As soon as you go up in rank, your slightest mistake will be punished.
Yeah, they did.
But they played it exceptionally well, and they had a huge showing against this team.
Yeah, so a big thank you to everybody who has played in the Nexus Rumble this season. And everyone who's watched as well. This has been here every Monday, 20 CEST. This will be it for now. We'll be on a break for a little bit over the summer and obviously the off-season. But we do have our off-season tournament starting next week as well. So be sure to maybe sign up for that. It's, I believe, _off-season. I'm going to type that in the chat. And there's some things. Thank you very much, Phoenix.
Just as I deserve.
For subscribing with Prime. Very, very appreciated here on the Heroes Lounge channel. Aviator, where can we find you if you are streaming?
If I was streaming, twitch.tv/Aviator. That is my handle. Thank you for having me, Transparent. It's been a pleasure. Haven't cast with you this season, but it wouldn't be fitting to not do at least one Nexus Rumble with you, since it was your baby, brought to life by the both of us.
There we go. Yeah, we'll be back with the Nexus Rumble next Heroes Lounge season. But yeah, be sure to check us out, !Discord, if you want to join the Heroes Lounge Discord. We've got loads more Heroes content coming this way as well on this channel in the next couple of months. So be sure to follow, be sure to subscribe if you want, and we'll see you next time. But that is all from us. GG's once again to Unleashed, our Nexus Rumble champions. Good night.
Bye.